Hey, this is Jeremy. I wanted to welcome everybody back to the RocInsGuys podcast, located here in Western New York, Rochester to be exact. Today we're here with Lawrence Associates and Jim Kolb, who is the Vice President of Lawrence Associates. But not only is Jim Vice President of Lawrence Associates, but he is also founder, owner, and operator of many different restaurants in the area. He has Colby's Ice Cream and Bake Shop, as well as Colby's Pig Roast and Catering. So today's podcast, we're going to focus on the restaurant industry, and we're going to take a look at some of the things that with everything that happened in 2020. We're going to take a look at all the things that restaurant owners should be thinking about as they look forward to 2021 and ways that they could potentially save money on their insurance and cut costs possibly. So, Jim, welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you here. We know that you have such a wealth of knowledge and experience in the restaurant industry. This is going to be a two-part podcast because there's so much information out there for this industry. But for those new restaurant owners out there that are going to be starting out in the next year or two, what kind of suggestions would you make for them?
Well, first of all, you have to have a plan. You have to know what you're going to be serving. You have to, in the plan, know what equipment you need. You have to also find a location that will draw the customers to you. And finally, you have to have the employees in order to make a successful business run. That's probably one of the hardest parts of going into the restaurant business or any of the food business or any business in general now.
Right, yeah. So, there's that old saying for the restaurant industry, location, 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 right? But, if you're not putting out a quality product and you don't have the staff to super serve your customers, you're not going to be successful.
That's so true. That is so true.
That's why, I know that you've, over the years, you've always been constantly tweaking and making adjustments to your staff, trying to find that right mix. And I think over the past couple of years, you finally have, because, you've been able to direct your focus in a few different areas, due to your success, even over the past year or so. But, for these new business owners, over the years, what have you found, that has led to your success when it comes to the different equipment and marketing options that you wish you would have known when you first started out?
Well, a big thing is the advertising, because once you have your plan and you are ready to open, the next most important thing is getting the people in your community aware of yourself, your location, and your product. And I've found over 32 years the best way to do it is direct-to-mail marketing. Now, you can go to an ad agency or you can go online to a company that'll sell you the mailing lists and everything else, and you'll spend a ton of money. But there's a simple way to do it that is the best return of any style advertising you can do, other than Facebook and having a good internet site. The next thing is direct mail marketing.
Right, yeah. And fortunately for me, I actually come from a sales and marketing background. So working with some restaurant industries over the years, I found that, most new businesses, they need to spend at least 10 to 15% of their gross revenue over the first 3 to 5 years on marketing. And even after that, since the restaurant industry in most markets is so competitive, they still need to be spending, anywhere from 6 to 9% as they're established. So, the marketing approach is extremely relevant and extremely important for the restaurant industry. What about equipment? I know that there's a lot of different options out there, some new, some high priced. What have you found to be successful with equipment?
Well, you can either go out and buy new equipment, and there's really a couple grades. There's the U.S. made, and then there is the Chinese knockoff style, and then there's a little bit in between reputable brand name, so the quality's pretty good. I personally have gone down to the knockoff line because the cost is usually 30% less, and the longevity of the equipment seems to be within a range of 5 to 7 years. And by that time, you want to look to new equipment because maybe your cooking's changing and different things are happening that in your business, because the important things you always have to change. You always have to evolve. Say, for instance, right now, I bought new ice cream freezers this spring, and my other ones were 7 years old. I bought them for a very reasonable price, brand new, and they've gone their cycle. And rather than putting a compressor into it, a new thermostat, that I elected to buy a new set of equipment or a new set of freezers, and they actually have a lot more features that will help me be safer, because the big thing about an ice cream business, if the unit fails, you lose $500-600 worth of food product overnight, and these ones have more features that make them more reliable and safer. Back to one thing about direct mail marketing, why I pushed on that is there's a way to save advertising dollars, and that would be to use the ADDM program offered by the United States Post Office. It's called Every Door Direct. And what happens is you print up a flyer and you bring it right directly to the post office in your area, and they mail it the next day out to that immediate area. It's really the way to go for a restaurant to succeed in drawing in new customers almost instantaneously when you open up.
Right. So, that industry is a lot of, being super servient to your customer base. And, the best place to start is within a mile or two of your restaurant. So, this is going to wrap up the first episode of our restaurant industry podcast. Jim, thanks for joining us. We look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you, Jeremy. It's great to be here.
All right. This is the Rock Insurance Podcast. Find us online at RocInsGuys on Facebook or ROCINS Guys on Instagram or Twitter. Thanks for joining us.